It's a decision day. Let's just see how you are hosting today. What it is, decisions are coming from the heart today. And if you're not making heart-based decisions, if you're making them over money or if you're making them over process or something that you have to do, today's decisions aren't going to work out that good. So if you are feeling it right now, if you've been feeling like there's something that's been coming up, today's the day to get it done. Put in the comments how you're feeling specifically today. And give me a bunch of likes and hit this button here and send it out to a bunch of friends. So put down in the comments how you're feeling today. Are you feeling the weight of the decision? Have you already made a decision? Lots of stress in my car today. I can't hear you. My energy is so low. Interesting. I'm curious to see how you guys are feeling. Put in what's going on with you. Good morning, good morning. Irritated. Feeling energized. If you guys can do me a favor, give me a bunch of likes and hit that button there. Send it out to some friends. We have the earlier programs on and it doesn't send it out. It thinks that we're still doing the earlier program. Did the video with me yesterday feel great? That's awesome. Now I can hear you. You can hear me. Good. We're getting ready to get Breath Messiah on here. Denise was amazing today. Thank you. I'm sure she'd love to hear that. Any advice for severe sinus infections? Yes, if you have a severe sinus infection, do the upper reset 2 to 3 times per day and use diatomaceous earth and Irish sea moss. That will help the body clear through the infection. And some of the things that you can do, one of the things you can do, it works really well. Take a garlic clove, completely raw, stick it up your nose, stick them in your ears, and that will help with the sinus infection. Okay, let's bring up Breath Messiah. Let's get started.
Do you want a chair? What's wrong?
Essential tremors. Hey.
What's up, Gary?
How you doing, Isaiah?
Doing good.
How you feeling today? Looks like I got some rain happening here.
Okay. You're not in the cold front in Mexico, is there? There's not a cold front?
Yeah. And see, can you see the rain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a cold front here? Oh my God.
No, I'm asking because everywhere else in the country, you know what I mean, in the upper.
Oh yeah, but that's why I'm here.
And that's
why you guys are there. I mean, somebody has to be there to experience the cold to let me know it's cold, so I don't go back.
For sure.
If you weren't there, I might have the hey, I want to go back up into North America. I might want to go back up into the United States or into Canada, and then I get on a live with you, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going back.
What would you say is the biggest difference that your body feels just not having to endure the?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. We stay inside when it's cold out, so we don't get as much vitamin D. That's one thing. The other thing that happens is when it's cold out, and I mean, there's some benefits to cold too. You tend to not be as active. You tend to slow down, not move as much and stuff like that. And I like to be active. I like the sun. I like to be active. I mean, again, there's benefits to cold. I just don't like living in it all the time. I like going to it for a period of time.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. That's why I'm gonna have to understand your migration pattern.
Yeah, just look at any of the birds that are outside in your lawn as they're coming through, and when they start going this way, just go with them.
There you go.
I migrate with the birds.
Which bird do you follow? What's on your totem?
The loony, the Canada goose.
It's gonna be too loud.
Is that really loud, by the way?
Not really.
Okay.
It's like a good like ambiance music in the background.
Like that. Yeah, we're getting a good rain here.
Oh yeah.
getting a good rain. We're getting a downpour all of a sudden. Funny, this is day 2 of the reset, and so we're doing it as a team. We're doing it in the mornings on the beach, which we haven't done in a while. And I forgot how beautiful it is and how inspiring it is to be on the beach when the sun comes up in
Yeah.
the morning. I mean, it changes everything.
Yeah. I saw there's a study that says something like if you have a picture of a sunrise or sunset as well as seeing it on a regular basis, like drastically changes your overall mood, awareness, perception, because it's like this is a highlight. This is like you're like watching the day start and begin from a like okay. So it's like a triple mirror effect almost. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I can relate to that. I mean, the first time in my life was a year ago when we did sunrise every day at the beach, and we did that for about 9 months. And literally, I only missed 3 days or 4 days in 9 months, and that had a profound effect on my life. It really did. It changed. It gave me more completion, I would say. Days didn't blend into each other. You knew that
the start.
it was starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, quite often, depending on where we were, we would have sunset too, but we only do one here because of driving time. I mean, we get a sunset, but not right to the horizon. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the next place we go. The next place we go, we'll have sunrise and sunset and beach.
And how did you pick out the destination that you guys did pick?
We haven't picked it yet. Still waiting for it. Yeah, we're waiting for property to come. We're looking to put about between 80 and 100 units on. The idea is that when we bring people together, we collaborate, we work together, we can massively impact the world. That's what we did. 4 of us lived together, worked together, and as we built this media empire, and that's what did it, because we had no space and time. Like, it's not going to work. In fact, we lived in it every day, and because of that, we were able to reach so many people. Now imagine 100 people doing that.
And then the influence of 100 people sharing their stories there. Yeah, that's super powerful.
So what do we got on the table? By the way, is that not too loud for you? Is it okay?
It sounds good, honestly. I think it sounds good. You can ask people in the chat, see what they think, but I think
Okay.
it's ambient. You know what I mean? It's I was just thinking about this yesterday. If every room, because we're inside and we're disconnected from natural sounds, what would happen if we were playing natural sounds inside, and how much would that really affect us?
Oh, it makes a big difference. I mean, the natural sounds, like here in the morning, having all the birds and the jungle birds and that, wake us up, makes a big difference. Like, it really does. And when I'm in Lions Bay, up in Canada, we only hear, you get up to the birds in the morning. In the summertime, the birds are chirping at 4 a.m.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. Same here. It's almost like, come on, bird. Like, all right, I get it. I'll get it. I get
You know what it is their chirping opens up the receptors
it. It's
to the
up the
flowers.
trees. Yeah.
Yeah, and the trees.
Yeah. So off of that, obviously birds sleep, right? But like sometimes at 3 a.m. you can still hear birds chirping. So do they sleep when they feel like it? Do they sleep when
I don't
they what?
know. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm in the mountains. I only hear them just before the sunrise. Here, I'm not sure. Now, come to think of it, now that you said that, I'm actually go out at night and take a look. I mean, I can see them moving
Yeah.
around after dark.
Yeah. Hmm.
We got a rooster over here that likes to make his presence known in the morning.
Roost. Well, let's see. Are we ready to get started? So let's first just see how we feel first.
I
I
feel
remember you.
tired. A lot of people are feeling tired, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I remember you saying.
I
What
think
and what
it's
is
I think it's because I've been trying to figure out if there's something. It's not my environment. I mean, it's definitely to do with the energy of Capricorn, this heavier energy.
yeah. And what is today? What is the
Grandmaster Capricorn day. Today's a decision day. Today's the day that the decisions that you make are going to carry out for the rest of the year, but also partly for the rest of your life. Today is one of those decisions that that has to be made from the heart. If it's made out of stress or for money or anything like that, it's the wrong decision. If you don't make decisions on your heart today, you will pay a price. If you make decisions on your heart today, everything will work out. The universe will come in and support your heart-based decision, not your mind-based decision.
Yeah. Okay. So it's almost like getting to the inner knowing instead of trying to analyze or think about it. Just whatever decision you make sure it's really from your core of your being.
Correct. Yeah, and and most people are just connected from the heart. So, including me, most of my entire life until recently, and I'm still opening up. Like I still get, I have all, you think about it, I have all these friends and people that I know that are psychics and channels and all that. So anytime I'm off a little bit, I got like 20 people. Hey, your heart's not open or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not open. I'm working on it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the 10th person to tell me that this week.
Yeah.
No, but it's a process. I don't think it's. I think people are waiting for it to be something, but it's a journey. It's supposed to open and close over time, and that's natural.
Yeah. The fluctuation is important. If we all felt great all the time, what would we really do? You know what I mean? We wouldn't appreciate what it means to not feel
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. Feeling great is only a perspective. Yeah, somebody's been in pain for a long time, and a level 8 or 9, and is that level 4 pain? They're like, man, I feel great today.
Perspective. All right, so what I want us all to do is stand up, sit down wherever you're at, just make some space. Maybe just do some twists. Get your body ready. And before we even take our first breath, just be aware of any places in your body that might be tight, stiff, holding on to old things from the past, or just ready to be renewed.
Yeah, actually, I have a interesting enough. I can tell it's gallbladder on my left side. Other stuff's opening up, but I can tell I got a little bit of tightness on my gallbladder up the left side here.
Cool.
Yeah, that's new. So something's moving.
All right, so we're gonna do. So I just thought of something really fun. So you know how in you ever went slip and sliding, like as a kid, like or even in your adult life, like or down the slide going head first.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start with our hands like right here.
Yeah.
And when you inhale, you're gonna pull those shoulders back. When you exhale, you're gonna imagine yourself going down the slide. So you're just pushing your head, your arms all the way forward, and exhaling it.
Okay.
Out. Like imagine you have to push yourself.
Are we breathing in through our nose?
In through your nose, pulling it back. Exhale out your mouth. You're going forward like you're pretending to go down a slide.
Hands down too, or hands up?
Yep, okay. Just like that.
Awesome.
Here we go. We're going to do 6 of them. Every breath, try to go a little bit more. Inhale deep. And release. Again, nice and tall. Exhale, push it out. Nice and tall. Exhale, use your legs. Don't be afraid. 3 more. And release. Last 2. Release. Last 1. And relax.
Yeah, it's always gets me an angle or an area that I don't normally feel it. So I love it with these.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's just keep that same. So basically today, it's about imagination. Imagination and like let yourself explore. Explore your breath, explore your body, and have fun. So the next one is we're gonna pretend like we could do one-handed cartwheels. So when you inhale, you're gonna go all the way up and around. You're exhaling once you get to the back half. So it's inhale, top half, exhale once you get to the back half.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we'll do 6 each side. Start with your right hand. Here we go. Inhale all the way big. Getting full range of motion. Keep breathing bigger. And bigger. Even bigger. Halfway there. Last two. Follow your hand. Last one. Last one. And then just walk around a little bit, see how you feel.
Yeah, feeling livelier. I'm feeling some heaviness coming out of my chest and my head. Like I was feeling heavy through here, actually.
Okay. So for that example, right? What with knowing what you feel, what would be the fascia maneuver that you would recommend?
Bladder release. So right hand on the belly button or on the center bone. To the right, down, just down where the rib cage goes, push in. Left hand up here. Breathe in through the mouth. 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. I no longer want to hold anger and resentment in my body.
No longer want to hold resentment and anger in my body.
I'm replacing it with compassion and understanding.
I'm replacing it with compassion and understanding.
I really think it's the emotions, man, because that's lightening me up quite a bit. I think it's like I'm going to the beach, I'm doing my 28-day reset, and I'm blowing out a whole bunch, opening up a whole bunch of emotions. I'm coming back, and I literally come back from the beach, and I have to lie down between my beach run at 6 a.m. and my live at 11. I have to lie down, and I'm like, this is weird.
So your body can let it actually process and finish the path.
Yeah, how do you feel after doing that?
I feel like more like I don't even know the word, just like more flow in my lower this area, stomach. Because the things that I've been feeling lately is like stomach and solar plexus. If I feel discomfort, that's those.
Yeah.
areas.
So 2 years ago during Capricorn, I was in level 9 pain right here for the entire month. It literally started at 0 degree Capricorn and ended at 29 degrees. And it was like, and I knew it was like, I actually, I'll play this. I'll put this in the lifestyle artist, um, somewhere. I'll put it in the, into the ground, but I actually recorded an end of life message because I was in so much pain one day. I didn't know what to do about it. I just knew that, I mean, I can't, I already know. I go to a hospital. They have nothing that they can do. I mean, I watch people go into pain in the hospital all the time. There's nothing they can do. They're just making you feel better. You know, they can give you a painkiller, but I'd already used ketamine. I'd already used THC.
Yeah. You used the tools that you knew that you had available to you, and it still didn't do much.
Yeah, and you know, and it was like, I know all the protocols in the hospital. I know exactly what they would have done, and I'm like, there's nothing that they can do. There is, but I'm like, what would I do if this continues? Like, if this doesn't go away, what do I do? And I had a moment there where I just, if that's it, it's it, you know. And that I had a couple moments like that through my detox, through my resetting of my body, where it was just like insurmountable, like there's something I didn't even know I could deal with, and that brought out emotions. And now looking back at it, I was trying to avoid the feelings or emotions. So now when it comes up, I go, okay, that's an emotion, like we just had. That's a release of resentment and anger. I feel more awake.
What would you say? What would you say to because obviously you probably are aware of detox symptoms and just the process much greater than most people because you've done it, you've seen it, you witness it on a daily basis. How can people be prepared for that emotional detox or that
I think
detox?
when the detox starts to happen, what people do is they run to alleviate the pain. This is the mistake that I made for many years because the next year at Capricorn, I had the same thing, but it was way less. But I didn't deal with the emotion. So the first thing is to deal with the emotion. You're okay in your body. I will be okay. This is something my body will
This
get
too
through
shall
because
pass.
the
Yeah.
narrative of it is like something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if I'm okay. What if it was cancer? What if it was this? What if all these things you start thinking about start coming up? And now knowing back at it, this is why I've recorded my whole journey. I've showed rashes come up on my body. I've showed everything, my teeth, everything you can imagine. I showed to people because I want them to know that it's not as scary as they think. The body will heal itself, but we're taught that it doesn't. And because it doesn't, we need somebody to fix us. It's just it's the one thing that I see people do is they run to a doctor or a hospital when they start detoxing, or they run a medication. That's the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah. And what would you say? Because, like, for me, it's like whenever there's intense pain, I know it's my responsibility to feel into it and to basically go into it and find the nervous system
Yeah,
relaxation. Even if,
acknowledging the pain,
yeah,
talking to it, even if
yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's like, hello, pain. I see you there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing me what I need to see. I'm open to seeing what you want me to see. Just by acknowledging the pain, it drops by 50% usually right away.
yeah.
Yeah,
And, and I think a lot of times is because we're in pain, so we think something's wrong. It's like a dissociation. So now,
correct.
how can you create accept? Like for me, anytime my hips or anything is hurting, like you said, I put my hands on it, I breathe into it, and I just like tell myself like whatever you're trying to tell me, it's like I'm understanding.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm
I give
open for
myself
the
permission to feel.
because pain is the body's way. Pain is the greatest motivator of the human experience. There's nothing greater than pain. Desire, exaltation, sex, nothing compares to pain. Pain is literally designed to move the human machine. And
So,
when we're in pain, we are taught to fear pain, so pain becomes twice as painful when we fear it. That's like when we're working with somebody, like old massage techniques, elbow into a leg or whatever. If it's too much pain for them in the release, they put their hand there, and then all of a sudden the pain drops by 50%. So acknowledging the pain in any way will take 50% of the pain away.
yeah. And would you say, like, example, right? So when people have pain, they try to like massage it and like I'm trying to get rid of it, right? But for me, what I've realized is that's you're trying to manipulate the pain to move it. But if you just like spend time with it, like just touch, somatic touch, not I'm gonna manipulate this out of like why won't it be
Yeah,
fixed, right? Instead
yeah.
of just somatic and then now like awareness,
Especially
like that's more.
if it's something that you didn't have pain, now you have pain. You didn't have a rash, now you have a rash. Those are the body's way of talking to you. And your body's expressing a couple things. Number one is if you're like breaking out with rashes, it's like, don't do that to me again. Like, don't put that shit in me. Don't put those chemicals in me. That's what it's saying. And like, don't put that in me again. And when you go, okay, buddy, I get it. I get it. I'm learning to take care of you better. You know, like we're working together on this. Then the body starts to give you space again.
That's good. It's so interesting. because we're really at this time in human consciousness where we have the ability to reprogram all of these old ideas, like
We
all of, you know
do.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
And that's what fascial maneuvers, that's why we do affirmations when we're doing organs, because what we're doing is the emotions, emote is what causes all the action and reaction in us. And so we don't even have a thought before we have an emotion. We have a stimulation, which creates an emotional
To it
response,
or
which then a narrative, a thought tries to explain or resolve. And this is where people get it wrong. Thought. So we have to have these emotions first, and the the body is looking when we do the organ reset. What we're doing is we're talking to our emotions, and that's where the programming happens. Or when we're in a fascial maneuver or counter rotated, the body has a memory of being counter rotated when it was in the fetal position.
yeah,
So I'm going back and reprogramming in that spot.
that's so cool.
It it really is. Listen, this is my best explanation of trying to explain the experiences that I have and what I see, witness in people. And to be honest with you, nobody 100% knows if that is the truth. But that narrative seems to work and seems to fit. And there may be a better way of explaining this in the future too. And I'm always
Yeah,
open for that. This is like when people say it's science and it's settled. We don't know shit about the human body. Like we don't know
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
We pretend we know. We don't know anything about it. We don't know anything about its capabilities.
yeah. And even by the time that we did figure something out, it already changed or it already adapted
Yeah,
equally as
absolutely.
fast to the next.
Absolutely. It's like the big one is food. You know, like food is a fuel. It's like which food gives you energy, and there's no food that gives you energy. Food takes away your energy.
Yeah,
So it's this food will take away less energy than this food, but there is no food that gives you energy.
yeah,
It's physically impossible. Your body uses 80% of its energy to digest, process, and eliminate. So we've got our whole brains mixed into this thought process, which is untrue.
yeah,
So if I think it's giving me energy and I keep eating it, oh, it's good energy. And I hear this with scientists and food scientists all the time. Yeah, that food is good for energy. Bring up your energy. And I'm like, how do you know the science of the body, which the body uses energy to digest and process it, and you say it gives you energy?
yeah. Yeah. And I find myself what I started to realize is people who are experts, dietitians, doctors, all these different things. It's it's just for me what I realize is just observe what they're saying. Don't try to prove them wrong and decode them and all these things, but like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I give you permission to your own beliefs. You know what I mean? And that's the challenge. That's
Oh,
what I'm learning because
I do that until they talk to my people. Then
yeah,
it's like get your stinking beliefs out of my.
yeah, yeah,
No, no. I get it. I mean, people are where they're at, and like we're doing a nutrition program right now, and there's a different belief set in that program than I currently believe. But I had to go through that journey to get where I am, and it's okay for people to have different beliefs. It really is. And I find that as they move ahead, as their body clears up, as their trauma clears away, what happens is beliefs start to change.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it did for me, and I knew the body pretty good.
yeah. It's like when you release trauma, your awareness has to also change. So now your belief system from that awareness also is different. Now it's a choice. Are you going to adopt your new belief system with your new awareness, or are you going to try to use an outdated program with a new awareness system?
Yeah, yeah. It's a tricky one because a lot of our beliefs are habitual. So
Yeah.
so when something happens, I get a stimulus, I have a habitual reaction to it. Like if somebody I smell chicken wings, I get a habitual reaction. My body starts making the chemicals and the bacteria and all that. And reprogramming those at the base level, that's why things like fasting are so powerful, or the 28-day reset.
Yeah.
Like doing something every morning for 28 days or every afternoon for 28 days changes somebody's life.
Yeah.
That's why the reset's so powerful. And we're day 2 today. We're going to go to day 3 tomorrow. And for those of you guys who are signing up, if you haven't, if you're signing up, you can get right now for the next couple of days into the first reset or the 28-day reset on the 1st. And so every 2 weeks we have a global reset starting right now to help people, to give them a chance to have a different perspective. What we tried is we went to the same location, same sunrise, same everything every day for 28 days, and then we changed it for 28 days. It had a completely different impact on us.
I can only imagine. It's like we don't know the power of environment until we do something consistently every single day, and then you do it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because the environment programs us. This is what you were saying earlier, having a picture of a sunrise or sunset. That's a programming mechanism.
Yeah.
I think I want to have artwork that comes up and on the walls at nighttime, and it automatically shows sun setting. Yeah. Then you go outside, you see sun setting. In the morning time, it's sunrise. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. That would be super cool. Well, let's go back to what you said about programming. So let's one thing that I've been realizing is people are not programmed to be joyful and happy for long periods of time.
I can attest to that. I've been the king of that particular statement for most of my life.
Okay.
Because I never gave myself permission to be happy because I wasn't finished my homework yet. That's my Capricorn side.
I got to do something. I have to accomplish. I have to finish. I have to do.
Yeah. I mean, that was literally the fascial maneuvers. That was the thing. Now I'm letting it go because it's like that was what I came to this planet for, was to bring this to the world.
Okay. So, like you said, let's just give ourselves permission to be joyful and happy now.
Okay.
So we're going to stand, hand by our side. And you know the feeling right before you're about to give somebody a hug? So you open yourself up, you're about to give somebody a hug, right? You smile, you seem like, oh my God, so I want you to imagine the person that you haven't seen in a long time that you absolutely love and appreciate. What you're going to do is you're going to imagine you're seeing themselves for the first time and you're about to give them a hug. But the key is the person is you. So we're going to just smile, take a deep inhale, open your hands up like you're going to give them a hug, exhale, let it go, do the same thing again. Okay? We're going to do it 9 times. I get a little awkward once we get to like 5 or 6, but just keep going, keep trusting it. Here we go. Big smile, about to give them a hug. Inhale. Exhale. Again, bigger. Exhale. Keep going. Think big smile. Open those arms up. You're going to give them a big hug. Even bigger, even wider. Big smile. These last 3 with a sigh. So big smile with a sigh. Last 2. Last 1. Exhale, give yourself that hug. Now, we're just going to do that same thing. You're giving yourself the hug. Now just smile, and now big sigh 3 times. And then just wiggle those fingers, wiggle your toes. See how you feel. How was that?
That's great. You know, before you hug somebody, you get oxytocin. So talking about programming, you're releasing oxytocin. I could literally feel it coming out. Makes me want to smile.
Me too. That's what I was like. The human psyche is so powerful that we can literally create the same experience with just pretend. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Imagining a movement, because the old thing about the imagining of the movement and the movement aren't very much alike, except for the stimulus that you get. And when you open up your arms like that, your body's already preparing, so it doesn't know that it's not seeing somebody to hug.
Yeah.
Somebody said fingers feel tight. Why? Well, that's interesting. Fingers feel tight. That means that you're all your organs are pulling back power. That's your 10 organs, 10 fingers. So you're opening up emotionally. It's kind of like when you do a drug or something, yeah, and then you stretch.
Yeah.
So you got some good drug going on there.
Yeah. The power of the breath. Get high on your own supply.
Yeah. I mean, there's another one too. It's like people are like, they're talking about, drugs and stuff that makes you high. And I'm like, well, technically that's not true. Technically, the drugs are stimulating a series of hormone release in your body, which you experience as high.
Yeah.
And if you eat 10 pounds of food and water, you eliminate 10 pounds of food and water. So technically, there's nothing in that food that you used other than the signaling to your body. And if you can signal with that, you can signal with things like breath.
Yeah. There's a lot of different things. Oh, I wanted to mention this. So real quick for like 5-10 minutes, talk about the importance of structured water, right? And why breathing it in. Because I go to a place where I do it probably 2-3 times a week now.
Yeah, the NOV, that's what we use here.
Yeah. So give us
that one is interesting because that's even better than structured water, because you can put in a diffuser, you can put in like level 5 alkaline water, and then that moisture will come up and you'll get structured water, because but water begets water, right? So when you're taking it and you're putting it right into your mouth, that's fourth phase of water. What that does is it takes the Nano V machine, takes the elements of water between a liquid and a gas, and right before it becomes a gas, it's a smaller molecule. It extracts that smaller molecule, and as you breathe it in, that smaller molecule penetrates the cell. So what it does is it actually penetrates the cell, which is an oxidative process. So it's going after hydroxy radical and the hydroxy free radical, which basically when you breathe in that water from the Nano V machine, it's like a janitor cleaning up the floor. Because imagine you come in, you clean all the counters in your place and all that, but you just slog mud through the floor. Well, if a janitor comes in every time you walk through and cleans up the floor after you, then you don't have any mud there. That means that your body can operate more efficiently. And that's what the Nano V does specifically. It's powerful. It's the only medical device that I recommend. I used to use tachyon and lasers and Tesla coils and all that. Now I really know that true frequency, true light, and true water are the only things that I recommend.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. It's because even after breathing that, I feel higher. You know what I mean? Like I feel more aware.
The reason why you feel high is a perception. If you take alcohol every day at 3 glasses, you stop being high or drunk pretty quick. And if you take psilocybin every day, you stop getting high off the psilocybin. You have to keep taking more. So it's a perception. So the more high you feel, that means the more stress your body was in when you applied it. Because what it's doing is your body is from living comes down, and that stress takes your body down. Well, the gap between your true potential and that gap is called high. The perception is high. That's why breath work calms you down really quickly, and effective breath work, or that's why fascial maneuvers make you feel high.
Yeah. Look, one thing about this live, I learn something every day. Every day I'm gonna learn something new, and that's why I love it and I appreciate it. So
yeah, we tore apart the human experience. I've been doing it since 2011, tearing it apart. But when the pandemic came, we just sat for 2 years and did nothing but experiment on our bodies all day, every day for 2 years with everything you can imagine. And it wasn't just me. I had Jason and Cynthia at the time, and so I could see this is what happens to a female, to a Pisces, this happens to a Sag, who's an Aquarius. This is how they react. And then we had people around us that would come in and out of that experience so we could validate it.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, let's finish off with 4 more exercises.
Okay.
And then that'll be a good start. So have you ever taken off a wetsuit?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's one of my least favorite things to do.
All right, so
Dry suits are cool. Wetsuits, it's like,
so
I hate constriction.
So that's what we're gonna do. So when we take an inhale, we're in the wetsuit. When we exhale, we have to get this wetsuit off of us. So it's really tight, and you have to like really stretch yourself, and then exhale the air. Okay.
Okay.
We're just gonna do 6 of those. Really, what I invite people to do is to really go inside of themselves and imagine they're taking off different parts. So arm at a time, leg at a time. If you've never taken one off, it's okay. Just imagine you're in saran wrap.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do 6 of those, and then I got the next one after that. So here we go. Inhale, nice and big. Exhale, take it off. And again, even bigger, really go up. And really let it go. Four more, take it in. Take it off. Here we go. Last 3. Take it off. Two more. Take it off. Last one. And take it off.
Yeah, I could feel myself on the edge of a boat scuba diving, taking off that wetsuit. Because my dad, when we were younger, I started diving when I was 4 years old. So I had a wetsuit when he had a dry suit, and I'm like, all the cool kids had a dry suit. I had a wetsuit. I used to hate taking that sucker off.
So what's the difference? What's the main difference?
The wetsuit brings water in, so your body heats the water. The dry suit seals you at the edges, and it becomes inflatable, so you can wear clothes underneath your dry suit. And um, and when you're on a boat and you've been diving in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, especially North Pacific, and it's cold, and you got to take that thing off, and it's cold on the boat. It's like it's not fun. It's not fun. And then no, what's worse is putting it back on. So you pour hot water in it, then you put it back on. Yeah, all those little things. I grew up scuba diving. I mean, I really appreciate all the time I had scuba diving because scuba diving is learning about pressure in the body is what actually I learned the physics of the body through the eyes of pressure. When I was 13 years old, I wrote a physics exam that allowed me to be a scuba diver. And you had to have the calculations and the tables. And so that's the only way that that was my lens for how the body worked. So I didn't go to school for anatomy and look at the muscles. I knew muscles from working out, but I always would think pressure. And now,
because that's your earliest
fascial
correlation.
news is all about pressure.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. It's like it's so cool because it's like you were programmed to be where you are now based on that scuba diving. You know what I mean? Like your soul called in those types of experiences.
That's what I'm saying right now. We all do that. We just don't know it. That's why when we call in the experience, you're like, I hate this person. I hate this. This is not nice. Yeah, I can get that these experiences aren't nice, especially physical ones in your body or relationships and all that. But now that I know the astrology so well, I even know when I brought it in or when I'm going to bring it in. I know what it's about. Like when it comes through the door right now, like I know what it's about. Like it's not fooling me. It's like the debt collectors coming. I know. Now it's not the debt collectors. It's they're coming to bring gifts and treasures.
Yeah.
But
the three
but the
wise men
thing
are
is
coming.
you went through every experience in your life to get where you were at, and we all do that, and we don't even rationalize these experiences till our Saturn return at 30.
I'd say I'm at the beginning of that. It's like things are becoming more obvious as to why, but I haven't fully understood the other side yet. So
well, you're born into a generation that's bringing in the change. There's a few people in my generation that are like the spearhead for that change, and I'm one of the spearheads. I'm just a pointy end of a piece of rock carved out. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go through the wall.
Yeah.
Not a lot of intelligence in it, just sharp and pointy and fire at a high velocity at something. That's me.
Yeah.
And your generation's supposed to bring in that change, or not supposed to, is bringing in the change.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I love being around older people that are actually not even older people with more experience who have the willingness to like lead the charge. You know what I mean? Like those are the people I love
Hey,
being
I know
around.
your astrology. You got all the experience you need. You're just remembering it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is that you guys get a chance to remember because it's okay to think about it that way. When I was brought up, it's like you're a meat suit. You know, you're born, you have stuff that ignites. There was a big bang and that was it. There was nothing else in the universe. And you're gonna die, and when you die, it's all done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that's the container that I grew up in. And then it's like religion came in. It's like, yeah, you'll live happily forever if you follow all these rules, but if you break one of them, even in
You're
your
in
thoughts,
hell forever.
you're going to hell. You're going to hell, son. Yeah, you can't tell you how many times I heard that as a kid growing up, right?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, somebody said I heard Sagittarius are the unicorns now. Yes, Sagittarius are the unicorns. We are the unicorns now. We're the ones with the pointy beaks going through. Yeah. All Sagittariuses became unicorns. Capricorns became the salespeople. All you Capricorns out there. Yeah, Capricorns who never like to sell. They're the salespeople for the new age.
That's so interesting.
The Aquariuses that are like that have always been contrarian. They're looking around. They're like, how come everybody's doing what I'm doing now?
You got
They're not
caught up.
contrarians
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's finish off with these last two and see how we feel. So we're gonna bring our hands in. We're gonna clasp them together, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna inhale all the way as tall as we can. When we exhale, we're trying to open ourselves up as wide as we can. Yep. So every breath, try to grow taller. Every exhale, try to grow wider. And all the way out. Good job. Go taller and really wide. Last three, taller and really wide. Last two, really tall and really wide. Best one and really wide. Good.
Sun's coming out. That's what I love about tropical storms.
Yeah. All right. So the last one, let's see what anybody got to say. Anybody? Oh, somebody earlier said something about face. So we'll go to our face. So what I want you to imagine is we're breaking through or breaking past who we thought we were. So all we have to do is just lift ourselves up. So all we're going to do is put our hand on our side of our head. When we inhale, we're just going to do nice, gentle, lift our head up, breathe as tall as you can, exhale, let go. Okay? We're going to do it 6 times, then we're going to put our hands on our hips, same exact thing. Here we go, lift up tall and release. Lift yourself up taller. Release. Even taller. Release. Best 3. Release. 2 more. Release. Last one. And release. And then hands on your hips. Whenever you're ready, just 3 breaths. Every exhale, get yourself into your body, into this moment. Do more. Expand your diaphragm. Last one. And then finish with your hands above your head. Tell yourself, great job. I did it.
Great job, Gary. I did it.
And that's it. That's all I got.
So when you run workshops, what does a workshop look like?
A workshop? It depends. Are we talking multiple days, one day?
Well, I mean,
What?
what kind of workshops do you do? Do you do them online still?
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm actually doing one at Lululemon Mall of America. So in their little studio, I'll be doing a breakthrough. But
Mall of America,
yeah,
largest mall in the world.
yeah,
Not anymore,
I think
but
yeah, it is insane though. What I can say is it is insane. It's crazy.
So you're doing a one-day workshop there?
Yeah, so that's tomorrow, and basically it's just themed. So tomorrow's about breakthrough. So breakthrough for me is about the internal process of going, accepting certain things and letting go, and through that process, you've broken through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But for me, it's kind of weird because it's like I have a plan, but then the plan kind of is like over here. Do I need the plan or do I just trust how I feel or what I'm doing? So
that's what we do.
And it's you know what I mean?
You frame out the plan, and it gives you an ingredient list, and then you just go in there and do it. Yeah. You know what I learned is that if I do it for me, it works for everybody. If I do it for them, it doesn't work for half the people.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Because for me, like while we're doing this, it's like where do I feel? Where is or like it's like spontaneous awareness. Like
well, you know, but also too is that you know, you're also very aware of this. You're you're a grandmaster in your sun sign as well.
Yeah.
And you're born to feel the world, and those who focus on it get an extra sensory of what the world is. And whether I'm talking to somebody online or in person, I can feel them. And if I do what I feel, because that's for me, and it's also for me. That's the other thing that I realized is that you know, like people, it's like their energy, their problem, or whatever. If they're showing up in their life, there's some version of that's for me.
Yep. That's why for me this has been the teacher. So I'm learning while doing this because it's like, okay, did that work or that like it's almost like it's like a mirror effect that happens instant and you're just trying things on yourself for somebody else, but it's really for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate yo-yo. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
If you throw it down, it comes back.
Well,
You throw it down.
to truly embody something and to learn it, you have to teach it. So if I'm experiencing, communicating, getting feedback, that's the whole process. That's actually how it works. People they want to go experience, get everything, get it perfect, and then teach it. And I'm like, that's not how it works. You don't learn until you share it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't become a part of you. Otherwise, it's just something you're sharing out of your head.
Yeah. And that's one thing that Rob Earth shared. He was like, I was like, what's your favorite quote or saying? And he was like, learn how to fly on the way down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that.
That's the challenge. I don't know very many people who are willing to jump out of the nest and learn how to fly.
Yeah, that's totally me. I'll figure it out. I know I'm not going to die, so I'll figure it out at least. Oh yeah, awesome, Isaiah. It's been great having you here again today. I look forward to next week. I'm enjoying our sessions quite a bit.
Thank you so much, Gary. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you for all you do to help people.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
Okay.
Peace.
Breath Messiah. If you haven't done it yet, go follow him. And if you can get to one of his workshops, do one of his workshops, man. If you're anywhere near Mall of America tomorrow, go to Mall of America. Well, yeah, here it is. I'm telling you, go to the mall because there's a breathwork session there. Yeah. So what are you guys feeling after that? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know where we're going to take this the rest of the day. And again, we are looking to do open events in Los Angeles area. I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards Orange County, by the way, just outside of LA. It's an hour. And we're looking to do it in Austin, Texas. We're looking to do something in New York and something in Florida. And we haven't nailed down dates yet. We haven't nailed down places. And thank you for those of you guys who have responded. We're looking for people that have major influence that are willing to work with us. They can help us, help direct us in venue location as one thing, or at least give us to the right people. And the other part too is to collaborate with them to bring more people. This is not about human garage. This is about helping people. And the way we help people is we get in front of them. And who do we want to get in front of? We want to get in front of new people. OC or Temecula, please. Yeah, somebody's saying that. Yeah, but even if we do it in LA, it's only a drive away. Come to Portugal. Yes, we will be in Portugal. Yes, we're heading out that way. But we are getting ready with some North American tours. And the other thing about North America too is that we get to bring supplements there, and we get to bring shirts, and we get to bring other paraphernalia and stuff like that, which helps us fund our mission too. And we're really moving into foreign territories this year, going into new markets. I may have a venue. Venue has to be, depending on where you are, venue has to be, I'd say 5,000 people has to be there. And here's one of the reasons why I was leaning away from Los Angeles is I'm asking people to take off their shoes. So I don't want to be where they put chemicals on the grass or wherever like that. That's just counterintuitive. Crystal River and Three Sisters Springs are so bright in Florida. The other thing is it has to have a large base of people. So like we're not looking to go to a unique place to get people to drive. We're looking to go to people this time. And what I mean by that is we're looking to be like we would go to Orange County because that still is, millions and millions of people around the draw base of LA. And again, we're looking, somebody says, everybody's like, oh, see, it'd be better. Great. If we come to LA, you're coming anyways. It doesn't matter where we go. But yeah, Orange County probably has more open spaces that we can work with. Toronto. Yeah. There's a group in Toronto. Toronto's a place that's getting our attention, starting to. The more people you guys have, we're going to where the numbers are. Again, it's about people. Okay, Mohit Mera. Mohit Mera. Anna Maria Island, Florida. Don't know where that is. Can I fly out for healing session? No, actually, we do not do sessions. Yeah, I mean, just honestly think about it. With 20 million people around the world, 3.5 million people online, and millions in other spots, what do you think the chances of us having time if we opened it up for sessions? We do some work with people that you'll see from time to time. Again, that's usually with our lifestyle artist people that have worked through the programs or already helping people. So we help people that are helping them. And the other thing that we do is sometimes when we have a media partner, Mike Bledsoe just popped up with Mike Salami. Hey, Mike Bledsoe, I'm going to be talking to you later on today. And that's a blast from the past. Okay, I tried to Mohit Mahra, not able to join. 60. It looks like Nick Vanderpool. Let's try that. Yeah, but you can work with. Hi there.
Hi.
How do I say your first name?
Martina, Ineke, actually.
Ineke?
My name is Ineke.
Hi, Ineke. How are you? Where are you located, Ineke?
I live in Algarve, Portugal.
Portugal? Or Portugal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see you. Let me see.
Oh, sometimes that happens.
Okay.
Sometimes it happens. So you're just talking to me now. So just pretend you're looking at it. So it'll look normal on our end.
Oh, I did not expect to be chosen, but I have to say I just finished the 28 day reset yesterday, and now I start with the global one. So
That's awesome. So
yeah,
what changed for you through the reset? What were some of the biggest things?
that I feel my body more and more, and I feel it's changing, and it feels like I'm a big sack, and everything is moving in the sack. It's
Yeah,
really weird.
that's awesome. And when's your birthday?
I'm 22 of August, 1968.
Oh, do you know if you are a 0 degree or a 29 degree? Are you a 29 degree Leo
29.
Libra or sorry, 29 degree Leo or a 0 degree Virgo?
I'm a 29
Okay.
Leo.
Okay, well then you need to contact me. Take a screenshot of your picture of your chart and
Yeah.
go to astro.com. Send it to me in the DMs. I have a group of 29 degrees that we meet,
Yeah,
and that way.
I would love to join.
Okay, so yes, you just go to astro.com, take a screenshot, then send it in. Say Gary asked me to send this from the live. They'll send it to me. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to make this qualifier for everybody else. If you're just sending your charts for me to look at, there's no way I can do that anymore. There's hundreds of them. So unless I'm asking you, don't bother sending it. So yeah, send it in to me and I'll introduce you into a group. We have a meeting coming this Saturday.
I want to say I'm a massage therapist, and I'm so excited what you say about the human body, because I always felt that it has to do something with breathing, and yeah, how I do it. It looks very similar of how you see the body. So I have really something from finally somebody who know how it works, and I'm very excited to do more. I just started also the lifestyle artist program, and yeah,
Congratulations. And by the
yeah,
way, if you look on our website under the fundamentals of fascia, and if you and the lifestyle artist program, you once you're done level 1, you have access to all the old videos. You'll see a whole section of level 2 training of table work. So, but you can start off with the fundamentals of fascia, and you'll see me working on the table with people. Implement those in your massage sessions. You'll find that people you probably already are, but you'll find that people have pretty wild experiences.
yes, yeah. But it's also they have to be willing to. You have to be ready. I
Yeah,
notice. You have to be
yeah, but
open.
there's things that you can do, like the belly button torque. You can do
Yeah,
that while they're sheeted, while they're covered. The other one, when they're laying on their stomach, you can go on their calves and you can put both hands on your calves and put all your weight and push forward.
yeah,
Hold that there for 3 minutes. It'll
yeah.
knock them out. It'll like put them to sleep. Like they'll go into a trance state, and then from there, their whole body is really, really receptive. And then
Okay.
here's another one for you. The fascial coffee,
Yeah.
which is yeah. So if you only massage in that direction
Yes.
on each limb,
I already tried to do that. I already do that. Yeah.
yeah, you get a completely different response from people.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and thank you for doing all that you do to help people. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I love.
how long have you
I
been in
think it's
therapy?
my purpose now. I found you, and now I know what to do with my life. I'm going your direction too. So thank you
I'm
for
glad you
showing
are. Well,
me.
you're a 29 degree. You're basically coming in at the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah, for you, everything is last minute. It
Yeah.
always works out, and you always stress about it all the way up to the last minute.
Yeah. I know. Okay.
So I'm super excited about seeing you in the Lifestyle Artist Program,
Thank you.
and I'm curious now, since you've done the 28 day, the old one and the new one together. I'm curious to know what you see as different.
Yeah. I have to say that I didn't use the magnesium bath a lot because I didn't have a bed, and I did sometimes with oil and then shower, and I really had to improvise a lot of things. But now I also follow Serious Joy, and I noticed that what do I want to say? I really like the way with the planners, and that you had to make some decisions. And I was really struggling with my relationship. And when I hear you talking, and that's when I ended my relationship because I was not doing what I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
came
Well,
on.
for you, it's about learning to follow your heart.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
and that's been the journey. That's why, like being a 29-degree Leo. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, for me, following my heart was hard. So, so I
Yes,
can't even imagine being a 29-degree Leo because you have to. Your whole life's purpose is to follow your heart, and you don't figure it out until well into your life.
yes, you're right. So it's me time. I feel I have some issues. I'm still strong because I always was strong and I was very physical at work, always moving. Thank God I have very physical work. So, but I notice my body is getting tired, and that's why I also want to do the reset and to get all the toxins out
Yeah,
and that things.
it'll happen
So
fast. It'll happen fast. So
I ordered your supplements, and they come. It's a way over the sea, but
yeah,
it will come. And yeah, I will. Curious how it is because now I'm going to do the bath. I have another place to stay, and there's a bath, so I'm going to do the baths every evening. And now I'm gonna. I think I see a lot of difference. Because in the first 28 reset, I didn't do it, and I think that's a very good extra thing to add, the baths.
yeah, it makes a big difference. Yeah, and when people like, I even tell people if you go get one of those portable baths or whatever, it does make a difference. It really does.
Yeah.
I when I'm down in Mexico, I don't have a bath in my suite, but I'm in the ocean every day. But I notice a difference because when I'm back up in Canada, I bath 3-4 times a day. I do notice a difference. So I'm getting a tub here, come hell or high water, but it makes a difference.
Okay, we'll see. I'm very excited. So
I'm really happy to meet you. I look forward to you sending me the DM with your astrology chart, and then I'll invite you to the group. Okay.
yes, thank you. I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. See you
Bye
soon.
bye.
Bye. What do you clean bathtub with? That's a good one. I mean, uh, we use natural cleaners and we use acid water from our Alcaviva machine. I listen. You'll save a lot of money if you get two things. You get laundry magnets. You'll save usually somewhere between $600 and $2,000 per month, depending if you're family or not, on soaps that you used to use in your washing machine you no longer need. And the other thing too is if you use the Alcaviva water for cleaning, you spray bottles, stuff like that, you don't have any of the chemicals, you're not wiping it away. And again, you save a ton of money on that stuff. You save a couple $1,000s a year by using laundry magnets and by using the Alcaviva water. Pays for itself right away. And the laundry magnets, by the way, are only like $80 Canadian or US, something like that. Somebody's asking about groups for Leo. We are going to have a group, but not by astrological sign, by number of your sign. I have found in my personal experience that if you are a 14 degree and another 14 degree and their sun sign comes along, you have instant relationship. It doesn't matter if you are a Leo and a Leo, you can be completely different. And so, so this group that I've been experimenting with for about a year now is 29 degrees and zeros. Those are the two ends of mastery come together. Because 29 starts over and starts back at zero. And so we will have it. We'll be migrating that group to our platform once we get through the resets and things calm down a bit. And then we'll be putting down a group for every degree: 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. And it's degree of the sun sign, because at all of it, it has to come through there. You think about you're made up of these 12 primary components and these 20 roughly components. And they all are expressing themselves through whatever your sun sign is.
They can join my 25 group.
There's a 25-degree group right now. Lisa has. You can message her if you're 25-degree in your sun sign. My birthday is October 31st. I have 25-degree. Oh, there's Lisa. Yeah, 25-degree group. Yeah, so we're going to be putting all those on the platforms because I want those to be like I don't want, like, for example, it's not my group. I just put it together, and I want these people to start communicating, and it's starting to happen. They're starting to help each other out. They understand each other. Healing mind. How do you find out your number? Go to astro.com and put it. Are you a 29 mermaid disco? Are you a 29-degree Virgo in your sun sign? If you are, then message me with that astro.com chart. And if you're a 28 or 27, guys, there's no slag or there's no anything about it. It's just we're monitoring a behavior set, and it just only works if people in there have that. Petra, oh Petra, you're a 0 degree in your sun sign? Well, then message me with a copy of your chart. I've seen your chart, but there's way too many. Okay. Let's see here. Healing mind. Okay. Hey, Tom. Let's check in with you, Tom. Let's see how it's going. Healing mind 41, unable to join. My guess is. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
Good, fantastic. How are you?
All right. I forgot to ask something last week that's really important in moving forward with maneuvers, and then it came up this week. But and I took notes because I want to stay conscious here. So as I told you last time, I had a detached retina 3 months ago, and I went in 2 weeks ago, and he said it's looking great. So he kind of gave me permission to do anything. I even asked him, can I pressurize, breathe? And he said, sure. So having said that, I went into my chiropractor who I was telling you about, who's a gifted soul. And she was working my neck, just stretching it, just working around the neck and doing what she normally does to try to get some movement and stretch in my neck because I hold a lot of tension. As you probably remember, I'm the guy who had that birth trauma.
Yeah.
And I used to clench my teeth. My brother said, who shared a room with me at 2 years old, I was clenching my teeth. So there's a lot of struggle going on early on, but a lot of tension in my head. When she was working the neck, I just dropped into that panic that I've shared with you, that visceral terror, and it's really stayed with me. And I kept doing the maneuvers all last week really well. I did the 1 day, 3 day, and almost made it through the 7 day when I started getting spasms in the neck. Really a lot of pain coming up. No, it's probably psychological and emotional, but
it is.
Yeah,
it is. It is, and it's a balance between your body being ready and you being emotionally ready. And it has a lot to do with the direction in your life, which way you're going. So you're coming up with that feeling right now. It's like today's the day for you because you're a Capricorn. Today's the day for you where there's some decision process that you're making today, something that you're deciding upon. Do you know what it is, or?
I've been doing a lot of journaling over the last couple of days, and I listened to to Astrology essay and your session, and I think it has to do with my work, bringing my work much more into the world, but it also has to do with my body and how I approach life, in terms of often living out of fear instead of living from my.
That's it. I got it right in the neck. That's what it is. It's basically you're making a decision to no longer live in fear. And the way that you'll know that you've made that decision is that you think differently starting tomorrow or today. And and your heart doesn't want to live out of fear. That's why it's a heart-based decision. And so part of it is even the way that you're talking about going to the chiropractor and having this, and then it comes up. It's coming up to bring up that fear for you to say it's going to be okay, everything's going to work out. Because the other way of doing it is there's a problem, something's going wrong, I got to protect myself.
Yeah. It's a challenge. I'm watching the words I use, and thank you for all the. I've been watching. Yesterday was a very powerful couple of hours you had with folks. The challenge that's coming up in my body is that it's really a sick to my stomach feeling when it comes up. It's pretty. I can deal with a lot of emotional discomfort, not always physical, but emotional. I can deal with, but it's an edge of terror, as I've told you, and I'm weaning off clozapam. Never did pharmaceuticals most of my life, but I did get back on it when I had this surgery so I could sleep. Weaning off of that, watching what clozapam does at night. I'm in the terror, take it. It obviously works on my amygdala or my limbic system, but boy, does it send me to a place of feeling myself again. And I'm not advocating it.
Yeah. It gives you space. Like I'm not against drugs. I basically we eat food. I don't believe we were designed to eat food as human beings. So after food is the drug. After food, anything else that you need to medicate or to work through it or feel good in your body is okay, because we're already eating the one thing that has the most disruption in our nervous system. It stops us from producing stem cells. So there's nothing more disruptive than food. So
a hard one when you say that. I'm now learning and taking in and more curious about urine. At first, I'm always curious and stay open, and I value.
Okay, so here's one that you'll get.
Well, wait one
A good
second.
friend of mine.
Let me.
Oh yeah, okay.
I just
Go ahead.
I value. I'm so aligned with most of what you share that even when you bring up something that my brain can't jump on, I want to be curious because you come from such a heart-based position. So I'm very curious now about urine. Learned more in the last week. The food part, I still logically think, no, I have a stomach. My whole digestive tract is there. My evolution must want me to eat.
You will. We have evolved to eat. There's no doubt about that. But when there's no food in our stomach, we know the science. We start going into autophagy, and then we start producing stem cells. So healing happens when we don't eat. So what is the opposite of healing? Not healing.
Why would our bodies develop a stomach then?
Well, the stomach, I mean, we're using it for something that you think, which is to eat, but stomach is desire. It's an emotion. All of your organs have emotions. Mm-hmm. So what happens is when I keep them busy eating food, I lose the intent of the actual organ itself. But there's some things that led me to believe this. And, like number one is my own experience, because I believed in eating food my whole life. I mean, obviously I had, but my sister was a big faster and she's trying to get me to fast. So when I started fasting and I realized that number one, I didn't lose weight when I fasted, which was crazy. Like I was fat at the end of 44 days. And I mean, legitimately fat at the end of 44 days. So then I had to ask myself the greater question, like, what is it that's really happening here? And then I have all these other inputs, like the doctor who, they try to starve in Auschwitz. Mm-hmm. And, the other one who got locked in a container that Raw talked about the other day, in a refrigeration container that wasn't turned on, and believed it was turned on and died of freezing. So the power of what we believe, it supersedes all physical action on the body. And the other part too is that when you take a look and you look in anatomy books, you got this greater omentum here. It looks like this well-formed organ, but when you do an autopsy and you do a dissection, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a scab. It looks like a scab that goes all the way here, all the way here. That's what it does. It looks like a scab, and that makes more sense to me. But the simple fact is this: science has validated that when we don't eat for a period of time, our body produces stem cells. It does not run on sugar, it runs on ketones. Sugar causes hormonal disruption, which ages us and causes us to burn of energy. So we're just addicted to that. Okay. So if that's what happens when if we're producing stem cells, which can craft themselves into anything that the body needs, then the opposite is I'm eating and I'm not producing them. So one of them is healing my body. One of them is not allowing my body to heal. End of story. And what are we healing from? Our environment.
Yeah.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Like I've been wrestling with this for a long time, but what happened for me by the third week of the fast, I was angry at the world because I knew I had been tricked. And and anybody who fasts for a month or more, 28 days or more, will immediately have this realization.
Yeah, the fasting is really, I mean, that part has become, I'm going to take this in stages for myself and really do the 28 days reset. And then, not jump. There's a part of me that's always gung ho to do everything at once, but I'm really open to fasting. And you've opened my eyes, and the folks on this call have too, the power of that. And I'm grateful for that, because that's, I'm on that. I guess I want your support, or just want your feedback, because doing the maneuvers with my eyes. So my left eye, my good eye, or my eye that's functional, the non-surgical eye, is now having some vision issues, which I'm sure has to do with stress and emotions.
Yeah.
More than anything. But
fear.
But it does wig me out, because it was a vulnerable 3 months of not seeing well, because your sight, at least my sight, is my connection to the world.
But you got through it, right?
Say it again.
You got through it, though.
I did.
So if it happened again, as scary as it would be, you'd still get through it.
Yeah.
I mean, not pleasant. Like, I don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to go back to prison. I don't want to be in solitary confinement. But if I had to be there, the fear of it's gone.
For you, yeah, the fear. I mean, I did make it through, and it's good to be reminded. I think that's a big thing for me, to be reminded and continue to remind myself that I made through it. Things. It's, I guess the worry is with the maneuvers. What I've been noticing with the maneuvers and breathing is just there's more intensity around the eye.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
It seems normal. Yeah. My intuition says it's probably okay.
Yeah. Intensity. I mean, you're not doing anything. You can't hurt yourself with a fascial maneuver. The intensity is
anything couldn't hurt the retina or anything, or cornea.
You'd have to do a lot of it wouldn't be a fascial maneuver that do it. I mean, you could create, if you had a pressure injury in your eye, it's because there's too much compression of the fascia around the head. So just keep doing the fascia all around the head, the ears, the jaw, the ear pull, the jaw release. That one there for the back of the neck, the upper reset protocol. Getting in the nose, blowing it up, and doing maneuvers like creating pressure in there. Anything to create pressure, and because here I can move my skin around and create friction, which lets the layers of fascia. Up here, it's around a hard bony surface, so it's a little. So you have to do more twisting and stuff like that.
But pressure in the skull, creating pressure in the skull, is a good thing to release pressure in the skull. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but there's a way. There's a healthy way to do it. You're relieving because you're doing all the outside work. Like there's a C-section release, which you could do. It's more than just a C-section. Most people have a very stuck cranial frontal bone.
Yeah.
That cranial bone up there gets stuck. So pulling it apart in the C-section release and stuff like that, it creates more expansion capability. That's what you're looking for, is expansion.
Yeah. So doing the upper reset, any of the head stuff,
and do the C-section release. If you can't find it, just DM us and we'll send it to you.
I saw it online. I'll do that. But keep going. It's not the left eye and its focusing issues is not. And I often feel tightness under the eyes. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
So that's coming from back here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So stretching back there, like grab your ear, twist it, pull the skin, move it around, grab your hair, pull it. Oh, you got enough hair back there. Grab your hair, pull it a little bit,
Yeah.
move it around. When you do anti-gravity, you know what you can
Yeah.
do is you can pull your hands apart and like stretch the skin, pull it apart, then do it. So pulling it apart when you do
Yeah.
it. Any of those things?
Yeah. Great. Those are great suggestions. I'm just looking at this list. You're talking about your vision. Do you have any
Yeah,
suggestions? And
I'm going to be doing a vision rebuilding program. So there's two components to vision. One of them is the ability for the eye to focus, like the retina, to change shape. And you see my face changing shape.
Mhm.
So, because I was really, really, really tight in this eye, and it was pulled up and tight. And that's because over time my face had been torquing. Well, that then took away the ability because it's like pulling here. It's like imagine that's the fascia pulling here, and the eye is trying to change shape, and the muscles can't move. That's one aspect. The other one is how the brain interprets it, the signal. There's a vision program. We're trying to reach out to them. I don't know where they're at right now, somewhere in our system where they train the kids to read with blackout. They put blinders on and they train them to read. And then they train them to play sports with blinders on because the eyes are just interpreting energy. And you know, when somebody catches the ball like that and doesn't even look, that's interpreting energy coming at them and then moving. That's their internal eyes moving to that spot. So technically, I don't want to become dependent upon my eyes again like I have today. I want all my senses to process and for me to know where stuff is and then use my eyes as a secondary mechanism. And that's where I'm going. I'm not, because I could go do the eye exercises and probably ditch these in a matter of 30 days or less. But I'm opening myself up for a greater way of seeing. And I watch these kids play tennis, ping pong, and basketball blindfolded. And
Really?
yeah, and I don't mean just kind of feeling way around, fully playing these sports and reading. And I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. I want to do that. And they have a program that they teach you to do that. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, this company, have them, if you could know them, have them reach out to us. We've already tried reaching out.
Are you talking they're looking through pinholes or they're not seeing
No,
anything?
they don't see anything. It's complete blinders.
How can you?
They teach them to interpret the energy another way.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about this. I mean, literally, I could program myself. These are just magnifiers. And this just makes it easy. I'm looking at a small screen, an exorbitantly long period of time, which is not exactly healthy. And I'm doing it right now for a period of time, which I won't be doing for much longer. So I'm using this just to make it easier. I do not believe in changing focus, like getting prescriptives, because it makes one eye lazier than the other, and then that also offsets the shoulders, the hips, the motion, everything like that. Yeah, we were sold a bill of goods. The American Society of Optometrists has a vision improvement program I bought years ago, and it helps you rebuild your vision. And it was basically it was a guy who wanted to become a fighter pilot and couldn't become a Navy fighter pilot because of his vision. So he went and found this program that was a prescribed, endorsed program by the American Society of Ophthalmologists, and that no one ever did anything about, because this is where the money is. So he went and he made that program out available to people, and he gave them simple little gave them a little eye patch and little exercises and things to do, exercises to rebuild your vision. And I'm like, and it works, because what happened when it first started doing it, I rebuilt my vision and I didn't use these for a long time. But I believe my body's leading me to is this new way of looking at it. I want to be able to read and see without using my eyes.
Yeah, I like that. It has to do with feeling, really trusting the energy that's around you or in front of you, and going deeper. Feels like an edge of growth, deep growth, to be able to do that, to give up relying on your eyes solely and go deeper into feeling.
Yeah, I mean, we do this instinctively. It's like when you go and you catch something, like your eyes didn't coordinate that movement. So, the mechanism that allows us to do that is just a superpower that's been squished down.
Well, intuition is very much feeling power too.
Yes.
This is something I think I know you got a lot on your plate, but vision is a big. My acupuncturist talks to me about. He's been working on me in terms of the liver. The liver in Chinese medicine is very connected to the
So is your
eyes, according
bladder
and
here.
bladder,
Yeah.
and those are big ones for me. So working on those, but I think this area is a big one in terms of speaking.
Yeah. That's why I'm going through it. I just don't. I don't believe that if we have superpowers coming up, which I believe we do, if the human species is evolving, I mean, heck, we have dogs having conscious. If you want to go on TikTok and look at I Am Bunny, and watch this dog have conscious contemplations, not near jerk reactions like I want food, like questioning his own or her own existence, questioning and sensing people coming and stuff like this. And so this is a conscious shift that I've been watching for a long time. We got the lion laying we got the leopard laying with the cow now. And these are also talked about biblically. So consciousness is rising. That means all consciousness rises. But we are so habituated into believing that this is the way it is. People are having a sixth sense that they never knew. People are having intuition that they didn't know. That's just the beginning of it. And I'm into exploring what we can do with these machines. I'm not going backwards. I'm going forward.
I like that. Would you, let me just make sure. Would you, two things. I think around this, any coaching, you gave it to me earlier, but I want to solidify it because these next 2 days are really important for us all. But first of all, I'm just going to affirm what I've heard, because there's that fear that I'm going to trust that doing all the maneuvers and creating pressure and breathing deeply is not going to affect my eye. And if anything, it's going to help it. That's my what I want to believe.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, that's very, very true, because that pressure exists through constriction. Removing constriction improves human performance.
Like it. And is there any insight just around the earlier part of when you said bingo, of the big decision, I'm not going to live from fear? Obviously, what I want to live from is more a sense of my passion and my reason I'm here on this planet, my gifts.
Well,
to share them.
That's one way to make a decision is to stop questioning alternatives.
Say more.
It's like, well, maybe this will happen, or maybe I'd go over here, or maybe I do that. One way to make a decision is stop looking at alternatives. So
you mean alternatives, like what the brain does in terms of worry, you mean, or alternatives?
But it's like I don't know what to do. I could go this way, or I could go these 4 other ways. One way to make a decision is to stop thinking about the other 4 ways.
Mm-hmm.
You're already doing it. That's why you're questioning today. You're removing fear. You're following your heart, which is your passion. So, like, literally on a Grandmaster Capricorn day, a Capricorn, you is calling, and you're talking about exactly what it is that you are contemplating doing right now. You're literally describing this. When you look at this video a month from now, 6 months, a year from now, you go 2 years, 5 years ago, that was the point where I made the decision. You've already made the decision. You're just talking it out.
And I'm needing to, because, this path of, my gift is also, like all of us, our gifts are our strengths unless we're really conscious, is my beliefs, or they can become our weaknesses. But this journey of dealing with terror in my life, but still moving forward, and it's such, and I think you understand this, it's such a visceral thing for me, and it is for everyone, but it's deep. And when I was
you're here to share that with others. That's what you're doing. You're getting the maximum amount of the experience of this dysfunction, so that you can help others through it. That's your job as a Capricorn. You're a teacher.
Yeah, like that. I mean, in other ways I've been doing all my life is that, you know, going through the stuff I've been through. That's what makes me a good teacher and therapist, is I can step into someone's shoes very easily and feel what they feel. But I want to move through this, Gary. I don't want to, you know, when I'm weaning off clozapine, it's tough, you know.
Yeah, you know, you're Mark Liu, who's probably on this podcast. He was finally the guy that got me to do it daily. Because he was addicted to opiates after being stabbed and shot. He was addicted to opiates for 10 years, couldn't get off them. And he goes, I said, well, how'd you get off the opiates? He goes, you're in therapy. And I'm like, really? Okay, now you got my attention. How long did it take you? 1 day. And it's a feedback mechanism that the body's looking for. When people will understand this, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's good for us is completely made into something that's bad. Like, for example, the pharma companies, the biggest pharma companies own all the porta-john companies because they take porta-johns, those portable toilets, because they take the urine and they use it for medication. Really? And topical, yeah, absolutely. This is not a conspiracy. This is true. Yeah, it's because it's used in different forms in skincare issues. It's used in steroids. I used to take a steroid that was made out of it called Anavar for cutting up the body, getting us ripped. It's used in all kinds of health drugs and stuff like this, and they have to get it from somewhere. I mean, the easiest way to get it is build a company that catches the supply, and it's freely given. So of course they don't want competition. Of course they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
you were going somewhere with I forgot the train of thought, but going somewhere with, you were talking about getting off the opiates and the feedback mechanism. And
so what it does is it closes a feedback loop in the body, because the body, if we were not truly meant to eat, and NASA has studied 2 people, published papers about them, that they exist off of sunlight, their body recycles water. So they see water going to the bladder reuses it. Because what's in that water is all the signaling components to build all the hormones. If I have to rebuild the hormones every single time, my body uses all this energy to rebuild the hormones. There's nothing that's more stressful in our body than that. And so, and this is NASA science, not mine. They were showing that the bladder would fill up and the body would reuse it. And that's what I experienced when I was in my fast. Because when I was in my fast, I urinate every 2 or 3 days, and barely. And I drank virtually nothing either, because I didn't have to clean anything else. So that cycle, it gets broken when I eat food, drink a lot of water, and I urinate it out. Like the current one, I've been doing this, telling people to do this for 20 years. Drink half your weight in ounces. And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing to do, man. It is absolutely ludicrous to pour more water, which is a solvent, into our body. And we pour H2O, which is a solvent. So what happens with this feedback loop is that my body's processing, it builds all these hormones to do what it needs to do. Then it puts the information from that into the body. Now, if I keep pushing pressure on it, more water, the body has to expel it. So it doesn't get to reuse that urine. So the body's habituated into just getting rid of it.
Yeah, so you're not, that's what I've gathered from what you said. Obviously, I'm taking the minerals, the supplements from you guys. And the mineralization, that's what you're talking about, hydration, is through the minerals, getting up. And
it's about what you keep in your body, not what you drink.
Right. Yeah. I think, and I said this to you last time, but I think I want you sharing some of the work you do on people down there and in other places. For me personally, because talking about that terror that's stuck in my stomach, when I saw a few of the videos over the weekend, you were working on a woman and health nut that resonates with me. So that work is work I need to do on myself, and try to find some partners here in Chicago to work, because the gut stuff for me and the other stuff, just watching it is healing. And I know the brain, there's a part of our brain that's called mirror neurons,
Yeah.
that when we watch something happening, if that part of the brain lights up. But I think the showing of that is on healing for some of us. Just seeing it gives me hope that going into the body can really release a lot of stuff, that what I was talking about, that sort of terror that sits in the gut, for me, I think lies in doing the deeper work in the gut.
Yeah,
And
it'll come up. You're making you're making a decision today, I can tell, to no longer live in fear and to follow your heart and explore your passions. That's the decision that you're making, I can tell just by talking to you. And you're talking about all of the things around it that either stop you from doing it or that are enabling you to do it. That's what's going on right
it
now.
is, and it's very, very helpful. I want to tell you how big this is. I'll tell you one other, I'm curious, one other fear before I let other people down, is that, do you ever, I get scared a lot these days, and it's more like about when pain comes up, when I'm releasing pain out of the body. I don't want to go to a hospital. I'm scared of going to doctors. I'm just, part of it's financial, part of it's the reality of going. Even checking my blood pressure, I don't like doing. It just brings up terror. It's that I don't know. That's old trauma.
That's
Now I'm finding myself.
all trauma. I mean, look at it. It's going to be all right anyways. So
I'm not.
if
I know
if
that.
you can fast forward in 10 years and know you're okay, then you wouldn't bother with any of the crap that you're doing today to scare yourself or validate that you're not
How
scared.
how do you deal with fear when it comes up, or have you? Does stuff in your body ever scare you?
It has. This last year I've had moments where stuff in my body scared me. I've had moments like when I was moving stuff around in my face like a year and a half ago. I'm like, is this okay? Is this really okay? And I had those moments, but what it is, it's fear coming out of the body. My brain is looking for a reason to validate it so it can stop thinking about it. So my brain is going to hold on to any narrative. So I just know the narratives aren't true. So I just keep going back to hello fear. Thank you for being here. What do you want me to see? And I just keep saying that over and over and over again until eventually it dissipates. Again,
Mm.
it's an emotion looking
Yeah.
for a narrative. And if
Yeah.
I give it the narrative, it goes, oh, okay. It stops thinking, it stops looking, and it just goes away, but it comes back again.
Yeah. Yeah. This work, Gary, and I'm not far enough into it yet to speak. I'll tell you, I know a lot about neuroscience. I know a lot about trauma and EMDR and different trauma treatments. But this is to me, and and you're showing it, has a really powerful potential to be a trauma treatment for people.
It's
That,
the most powerful trauma treatment that I know. That's why I closed the clinic. There's
yeah.
nothing. EMDR, biofeedback, plant medicine, they all do one thing. They stimulate a response in the body. When the body has all the healing mechanism it needs, it lets go of trauma. We didn't have trauma like this 30 years ago, 50 years ago. The general population didn't experience trauma. Somebody who been shot at in war did, but the general population didn't have all this stuff, didn't have anxiety.
Yeah, that part, because I know there's generational trauma, and I know my ancestors from Ireland, they came over with
Yeah,
terror. They came over.
I get that, but we didn't live in trauma. Today, when I use the word clinically, like 10 years ago, I said your body's having a traumatic response. I didn't go to war. I'm not using drugs. People wouldn't even identify with the word trauma. Now, every single person's my trauma from this, my PTSD from this, my this, that. It's like normal language today.
I think some of that is good, because I think there was a lot of denial in the old days. At least growing up, I'll speak for myself and what I studied. Is there was a lot of things that really overwhelmed the nervous system. That's what I call trauma. It's just too much energy in the body for it to hold.
Well, you got it right there. But why isn't the body holding it? The body used to process it naturally. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Chemicals.
If you, yeah,
Chemicals. With the advent of chemicals, we became a traumatized society.
yeah. No doubt, no doubt. I also think there was strong beliefs about not feeling in the old generations. You just pushed it down and
Yeah,
didn't deal with it.
I get it. But we weren't dysfunctional like we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I this work, the thing I know is the work you're doing is, Basil Vanderkalt, the body keeps score. A lot of the trauma therapists don't talk about fascial and fascial movies. So
Yeah, because they want trauma to be here, but we don't have trauma here. This just tells us the brain is not in charge of the body. This is fundamentally where what we do is different than the rest of the world. Like you can go with EMDR. I'm very familiar with these practices. I've used them for decades. You can go with EMDR. You can change the way that this interprets something from here, but you didn't change why it was happening in the first place.
right.
And over time, people get worse and worse. They trade short term pain or feeling of pain for sedating, or they're not rewiring the body. You're not rewiring the body when we put electrodes on the head. This is the whole, even the principles of fascial maneuvers and how they make muscles perform. Why do muscles stop performing? Trauma. What is trauma? Repetitive use without ability to recover. And so we used to do programming, neural programming of the brain to make the body work, and we're good at it. I mean, we took Olympic athletes and gave them all medals doing that stuff. Now I know the better way is to not reprogram the brain, is to take away what the brain is dealing with. Take away the restriction. What we're restricted from releasing stress from our body. You give anybody 28 days, that's a 28-day reset. They all of a sudden stand outside of their body, and then the trauma starts to process. It's the most effective trauma release tool. We have colleges and universities all over the world right now that are diving deep into this.
Yeah, I work with schools and work with parents and teachers. It's how to bring it in so they can listen. There's so much, the work I do is around social emotional learning. It's hard just to get that into some of the schools in the United States because of the belief, because of people's fear of going into the body.
It's changing fast. So it is. It's going to change at an accelerated rate over the next 18 months. It's going to go from nobody heard of it to everybody's now talking about it. You can already see it already through media and culture. People are talking about it. They're talking about the body, fascia. Like if I said fascia, your trauma's held in your fascia 10 years ago, people are like, what are you talking about? Clinically. Now everybody, including clinicians, are going, that's true. So we're at that tipping point where it has been an uphill battle, but that battle is over now.
That's good. Well, I hope, because I think so much of schools, I think these maneuvers and social emotional learning would really help kids process their emotions, be able to learn more efficiently, behavior, everything else. So I look forward to trying to do this on myself first and see how I can bring it with other people to do it.
Well, that's what you're doing. You're creating. You're already in that process. It's people like you, and there's hundreds of thousands now that are in programs, especially around colleges and kids and therapies and family help, that are implementing these. What's going to come is at the same time over the next 18 to 24 months, all of these new ideas. That's why our intellectual property is free. Use it. We want you to use it. And as a matter of fact, you use it good enough, you make something that makes sense, we'll promote it.
That's an amazing mission you have, and I'm glad you're doing it. If there's any way, I know there's a parenting group. I'm glad you're working around parents, because I'm a firm believer that what you do in the first 3 years of life and at birth has an enormous impact.
Yeah.
And I'll be curious somehow maybe to contribute in some way down the road to that.
And the one thing I can tell you is that we can reprogram down to the moment of conception and the trauma that is in our body and the trauma we're born with generationally. That's what I'm personally doing right now. And that's what I see in the people that I'm working with. Like we're here talking about the retail part of fascial maneuvers, which is what happens when you start doing them. The whole 28-day reset, lifestyle artist, level 1, level 2, facilitator, trainer. Those are what happens when you take the stress out of your body and the trauma starts moving. How do you integrate it into your life? What people see on the outside right now is where we were 3 years ago with this, scratching the surface. We are in such a different place right now.
It's I as I've said several times here, I'm deeply, deeply thankful for the work that you do and Jason does and Lisa does, all the people. And because it's profound work. The effect it's had on me during a very challenging time and the inspiration and hope it's given me is huge. And I just want you to know that at a dark time, because trauma has been a part of my path and going through it and helping others has been a part of my path. But you've given me a deeper hope for myself. And
look at this.
it's enormous.
Tom, your energy is shifting daily. People can even see it because they've had enough exposure to you.
Well, I thank you again for your mission. Thank you for living your mission and being who you are, Gary. And, continue the work. And I, again, look forward to connecting down the road. And I want to get more in Chicago here. We don't have the best weather right now. We have 20 below the last 2 days, and it's a bit challenging, but other seasons here are wonderful. I look forward to
I'm looking forward to coming to Chicago.
I would love it. In summertime, spring or fall would be beautiful to have you here. Thank you for all.
Okay, well, maybe enough people in Chicago will be there. Maybe we'll be there this
That'd
summer.
be wonderful. It's right in the middle of the country. It's a great place to come. So
yeah, I used to have an office in Deerfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, again, thank you for the time. Thank you for the support, Gary.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good chat. You can see by watching Tom, for those of you guys who have been watching for a while, you can see the changes. Go back and look at previous versions. And you can literally see the transformation that's happening in his life and in his body. And look at Team Tom. Yeah. This is it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing what's going on, guys. We are changing the world by changing ourselves, and it is so true. As I change myself, the people around me automatically change, whether they know it or not. Yeah, he has transformed. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like in a month or 2 months, and you can see where people are in their journey too. Okay, everybody. So a couple things coming up tomorrow. We have Raw Reality, and that's with Raw of Earth. One of my favorite talks, just because of where we go. If you haven't done it yet, there's a class in New York. Get yourself out to the New York class. New York class. If you're in the 28-day reset and you're anywhere around New York, get yourself out to that class. It will change your life. I promise you, especially if you haven't done them in a group environment yet. We are looking to be in the United States. We're looking for media partners and event partners. We're looking to be in Los Angeles area, in the Texas, Austin, Texas area, in New York and in Florida. And we're looking for some people to help stimulate us to be there. We can draw an audience, and we want to collaborate with somebody else who can draw an audience and who has resources there, already has resources, already can help with where to go, what to do, who to talk to. Just take some of the learning curve out for us. Super excited about that. Also, if you haven't done it yet, get into the 28-day reset. You can get into the first one. I think you've got 3 more days, or maybe 2 more days. You got 2 more days to get into, if you've not registered yet, to get into the next reset, which starts on the 1st, because you have to do the 1 day, 3 day, and 7 day first. So I believe you got 2 more days to get into that reset. Go to our website and start there. And looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.